What up, y'all? I'm late. I'm so late. Um, I literally just got off the road. Like, literally walked into the house, threw my stuff down, and came right in here and hopped on this live because I am late. I've been out of town all day. Had to go to OKC for a follow-up appointment post what is the word I'm looking for? I got a pill. I got a chemical pill. So post pill, and then I got my hair done, and now I'm here. And nobody's here. It's fine. You guys can catch the replay. I am still going to answer questions from Instagram. So if you don't know, my name is Libria Jones. I typically host a live session every Tuesday night. Usually it's at 6 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Just so you know, this month is my last month doing it weekly. I'm going to start doing it monthly, and it will happen weekly for the people that will be in the Quick Commuting Academy, which I cannot wait to tell you about. The Quick Commuting Academy will be a monthly community. Will be a community that, hey Kelly, will be a community that people can get, more access to information, help, guidance, motivation, education about how to work remotely. And I'll be doing these Q&As weekly just for that group. And then I'll do them once a month for free. Girl, please, while I work on my car, what are you doing to your car? I love that you're working on your car. I love that you're taking matters into your own hands. Hey, Steph. Hey, Jacqueline. Okay, let me go to the post so I can get your questions and answer those. I appreciate the grace because I know I'm very late, much later than normal. So I appreciate the grace. Okay, so I'm going to read through these questions because people ask some good questions and I cannot wait to address them. This will be fun. Okay. Currently 8 months pregnant and my boss has decided to significantly reduce my hours. How do I find remote work so close to my due date? That's a tough one. I'm not gonna lie, this is a tough situation. 8 months pregnant. So I'd say it's really messed up that your boss is trying to significantly reduce your hours. I'm sorry that's happening to you. But I will say that the good thing is, like, how you go about finding remote work is not that different with you being pregnant versus you not being pregnant. So you're going to kind of have to decide. I don't know what your current plan, and this is Artgasm. I think I've seen that name before. This is Artgasm. I don't know what your current maternity plan is. Okay, serendipity. Okay, so I don't know what your current maternity plan is if you were already planning to take off work, but I will tell you that on average, it takes about 90 days to land a new job. And that's not remote jobs. It's not in person. It's just a general statistic. On average, it takes a person about 90 days to find a job, right? So if your plan is to be on maternity leave for about 90 days, I think that this is a great time for you to start looking, right? Because that means that it's likely that by the time you land a job, it'll be about time for you to go back into the workforce anyway. So there's no time like the present. And the great thing about, working remotely is that you have that flexibility and freedom so that you don't necessarily have to leave the house, right? You can do this whole process from home. And for a lot of companies, like, this is the thing that moms want to do. So I'd say, I don't know what you do for a living, but kind of focus on places like Flex Jobs. Flex Jobs is specifically for moms. Power to Fly and Flex Jobs are going to be great resources for you. Power to Fly is a website that is dedicated to helping women specifically move their careers forward. So I think that's a great place for you to start looking and to start getting inspiration. And they have a lot of events. They have a lot of free events. They have a lot of free trainings. So I say, spend some time immersing yourself in Power to Fly's content because I think it's going to be really great for you specifically. And also go ahead and start your search because, again, it can take on average 90 days. It can take longer. And that way, by the time you land your job, if it takes about that time, then you'll be, moving back into the workforce anyway. When I had my daughter, I luckily was able to be home with her for the first 3 months. I'm not going to get on the soapbox about maternity leave in this country, but 6 weeks ain't enough. 6 weeks is not enough. It's just not. I tried to go back to work. I worked up until my due date. I worked at a company. I worked as a receptionist at a legal company at a law office. I worked for an attorney, and I worked up until my due date. Like my last day was Friday. I had my daughter the following. Like I went to the hospital the following Sunday, and I was on Medicaid. I was on food stamps. So, and I was in college too. I was in grad school. So I ended up being able to be home with my daughter for 3 months. I actually was supposed to go back to work at 6 weeks. I remember I was supposed to get up and go to work that day. I woke up and called them people and was like, I can't do it. I ain't gonna be able to do it. I ain't gonna be able to make it. I was like, I don't even know my daughter well enough yet to leave her with people. But let me not get on a soapbox about maternity leave and parental leave in this country. 6 weeks is just not enough. So hopefully you get the opportunity to really use this time and take some maternity leave and focus on getting to know your baby, reintroducing you to yourself because now you're a new person as well, and finding opportunities that are much better for you. I wish you the best of luck. I don't know what you do for a living right now, but I think Power to Fly is a great place for you to spend some time in their content. They also do have free job fairs, probably like twice a month. So check that out. Hey, Nomadic Jamaican, how you doing? Everything Irie? Excuse me, it's been a long day. Fifi, I've been looking for remote work on some of the pages, but haven't found anything help. So I asked her some follow-up questions. She said she's not getting any replies. So Fifi, you're not getting any replies. You're looking for something in accounting. So I'm going to say this. There's lots of, I don't know what the mom project is. I'll come back to the comments over here though, because I get distracted so easily by these comments. There's lots of remote jobs in accounting. So accounting is one of those fields where it's such a great opportunity because you literally do not need to be in person to do this work. And almost every company that exists, whether it be a cubicle company or a virtual company, needs accounting help, right? So you could do so many things here, right? You can find an accounting job. You can freelance in accounting. So many people are starting new businesses. I mean, within the last year, the amount of new businesses and small businesses that have popped up is ridiculous. So you could be, the accountant for a lot of these small businesses, or you can start a company and hire people to do bookkeeping and things like that with your accounting knowledge. So many options for you to take matters into your own hands if you're not finding the job that's the best fit for you. But I'd honestly say the sky is the limit for you. I can't think of a company that doesn't need accounting help. There ain't a company out there that doesn't need accounting, right? And so I think the challenge for you is to figure out where in the process, what's broken in the process. So you said that you're not getting any replies. So if you're submitting applications and you're not hearing anything back, maybe it's time to look at what you're submitting, right? Are you slinging stale resumes? Are you applying for jobs the right way? Are you networking? Are you doing those things? So maybe it's time to bring in an expert, right? So maybe have someone look at your resume. I know last week I shared a link to Ashley Cash. She does free resume reviews. There's so many, resources out there. So bring in someone if you aren't doing that already. Bring in somebody to look at your resume and see, what's missing, or maybe you need to get it updated. Maybe you need somebody to write your resume, start from scratch, things like that. I also say, don't underestimate the power of networking. If you're in accounting and you say, I would love to work remotely identify 3 to 5 companies that you would love to work for and start following them on social media, because a lot of these remote first companies, especially on LinkedIn, they post a lot of stuff. They love to post their thought leadership and their opinions and their memes and their jokes about remote work. Oyster is a good example. Oyster is a remote company, and they're always talking about remote life, remote advocacy, future of work advocacy. Start to get to know these people, right? So that when a job pops up, and you're asking about being considered for it, it's not the first time they're talking to you, right? So consider networking. I'd say consider getting someone to look at your resume, and just make sure you're looking in the right places, because accounting is one that's going to be across the board. I rarely see a remote company looking for that's hiring that's not looking for an accountant or a bookkeeper or something like that, right? So I'd also say consider freelancing too. Like you could do that as well. That's an option. But if you're not getting any replies, when you look at that process and you say, I'm stuck at this part of the process, it's time to stop doing the same thing over and over again. It's time to do something different. And what is that something different? Maybe that means bring in an expert that can help look at your resume and define whether or not it is appropriate for the positions that you're applying for. And so I know a few resume experts. I've shared quite a few of them on Instagram and even in some of these Q&As. And they're going to tell you, like, find 3 dream jobs and start building your profile around those. And then again, Ashley Cash, and here I'll give you guys a link to her again. She need to give me, listen, we need to work out an affiliate program or something. Because I shout her out all the time on here. She's one of the few that I know that offers, like, straight out of the gate a free review. So that's why I always share hers. If you guys know of anybody else that's offering a free resume review, please let me know, and so I can put you guys onto them too. But it says not getting resume reviews, not getting interviews. Let me review your resume. So I'm going to drop a link. That's Ashley Cash. You can go there and she will review your resume for free. She's going to be like, girl, stop giving people my information. I'm running out of time. I can't handle all this. Good luck to you, Fifi. Somebody said they'll be in OKC next week, then checking out Tulsa. I have plenty of questions. However, can't make the Q&A tonight. Would love to connect with you. This would be the best place. Like, if you had dropped your questions here, I would have answered them for you already, and you could have watched it in the replay. So just so you guys know, not being able to make the replay shouldn't keep you from dropping your questions. Because if you're not here for the live session, it's fine. You can watch the replay. So welcome to OKC. Welcome to Tulsa. I hope you enjoy your time here. I hope you enjoy your time here. Let's see. I'm looking for remote work as a chef. I'm in culinary school with 1 semester left, looking for recipe testing jobs, content creation jobs, etc. Any advice for me? Or do you have any tips for me? That's interesting. I think that's pretty dope. I'd have to do a search. I have not done a search for culinary positions. So I'd ask you, have you done any searches for culinary positions? So a lot of times I'm not saying this to be funny or mean or anything like that. A lot of times the questions that you guys ask me, you could ask Google as well, right? That is something that I would love for someone to, drop it in Google and see what pops up. And you might end up being surprised. I'm going to do that right quick. And see what pops up. You're not going to be able to see what I see, but I'm just curious. Let's see. Remote jobs for chefs. Let me see what pops up. Remote chef, recipe helper, remote chef camps. It says culinary partner support representative, remote cooks helper, virtual ghost kitchen. There's some interesting stuff coming up here. Remote recipe tester. I've never heard of that. Recipe development and test kitchen manager. So, I see some stuff popping up. So again, I'm going to say sometimes the things that you ask me, I encourage you, just type it in Google and see what comes up. You might end up being surprised by what you find, and what you find. The stuff that you find might end up sending you down different paths too. You might say, oh, I didn't even think about this as an option. I didn't think about this kind of thing. And it can send you down. It can give you more search keywords things to search for is the word I'm looking for, right? So taste of elation. I encourage you to do some digging. Also, head over to a freelance site and do some searches for similar things and see what other freelancers are doing in your space. So go to like Fiverr, that's Fiverr. Here, I'll type this in here too. Fiverr.com, and then Upwork. Go to the freelance sites, type in chef, type in recipe tester, type in food blogs or food content creation, and see what other people are getting paid to do, because that could jog some ideas for you as well. So do that. I don't have a lot of experience in this space. That's one of the things that I've never looked for, but now I'm interested. So we'll see if I kind of want to create like a blog post or some content around the most unlikely remote jobs or something, and that would be in the list. Right? And see if I can challenge myself to find some cool remote positions or things that you can do remotely in that. Thank you for opening my eyes to that. What I would suggest you do is do some searching, just like I just did, and then go on some freelance sites and do some searching there too to see what people are getting paid to do, and that should spark some inspiration for you. And I tell you, don't be afraid to freelance. Do not be afraid to freelance in this space. Currently work as a systems trainer, project management. My team generally travels for training and rolls out. Other than that, work from home. Who knows works for me. Looking to see what might be out there in this arena with an increase in pay. I'm not sure what you're asking me. Natural Queen 88. I guess I'm saying, let me go ahead and report you and remove you. Give me just a moment. All right. Bye, weirdo. Okay. Sorry, guys. Had to get somebody out here. Currently work as a systems trainer, project management. My team generally travels. I guess I'm not necessarily sure what your team traveling and training has to do with the question. I think that's where I'm getting lost. Are you asking for work in systems training and project management, Natural Queen 88? I don't know if that's what you're asking. If you are, there's plenty of roles in project management. That's one of the easiest roles to find remote. So what I encourage you to do is use some of the tools that we've provided and search in those places. So remote.co, weworkremotely.com, flexjobs.com. I do have a free guide with my favorite places to find remote work. Those are all job boards, and they've got plenty of project manager jobs on them. Lots of companies out here looking for project managers. So many companies out here looking for project managers. It's probably one of the easiest positions to get remotely, or to find remotely, I should say. Probably one of the most common remote positions out there is what I'll say. One of the most common non-technical remote positions. So as far as increase in pay, again, so I don't have enough information for that. So I don't know what your pay rate is to answer if there's an increase in pay. I think that project manager positions can range quite a bit, from 40,000 to 180,000 to 200,000. I've seen all over the gambit for project managers. And what that's going to depend is the company, right? So company to company, even in the same industry, they're going to pay different. It's going to depend on the industry. It's going to depend on your experience. It's going to depend on your certifications. It's going to depend on a number of things. So I'd say if you don't already have my free guide, please download that thing. Let me drop a link to that too. I'll put the stuff in the description box too. Free guide, Libria Jones. Download the guide, go to the websites that are in there and look for project management roles. And yeah, there's plenty of project management roles. It's one of my favorite remote roles to push. It is what I do for a living. I've worked in higher education for 10 years. Previously held roles like administrative coordinator and business office coordinator. Currently event manager. Recently started Google's PM certification program. Pretty cool. Switching to a remote event role because I'm over higher ed. However, I usually find these roles at the senior level. Should I try another industry? I don't know why you would try another industry. You already have experience in this space. So I'd say it sounds like you're discounting your experience, Kate in pursuit. I say this a lot, and you may be new here and you may not have heard me say this. I don't mind repeating it. Just because it wasn't your title doesn't mean you didn't do the work. All right. So just because your title wasn't event project manager or project manager doesn't mean you didn't do project management work. If you were an event manager, you were a project manager. An event is a project. So please do not discount your experience. The only thing that's different for you right now is you are taking a course to formalize the work that you've already done. So what I'm hearing is that you're seeing senior level roles and you've decided that you're not qualified for them. I don't think that you are qualified to decide if you're qualified. Let them do that. Their HR departments and their recruiters are the ones that are tasked to decide who is qualified for those positions. So you don't have to worry yourself with that. You just make sure that your resume shows that you can do the work and apply for the jobs. That's all you got to do. You lose nothing. You lose nothing but the 15 minutes it took you to apply for those jobs. So what I encourage you to do is, one, don't discount your experience. Right? Thing one, do not discount your experience. Thing two, you don't have to meet 100% of the requirements of a position to apply for the position. You don't. Just apply and let them decide whether or not you are qualified for the position. I'd say also, it doesn't hurt to diversify, what you're looking for, right? So unless you truly just love event management, I'd say broaden your horizons and start looking for some project management roles and some other management roles. And I'd also suggest, what is the word I'm looking for? Operations manager roles as well, just based on your background. So I don't think there's anything wrong with expanding, but if you love event project management, do that. Do that, girl. I have friends that do it for a living. There's a company called GSD Solutions. She built a whole company around virtual event management. So it's possible, it's out there. I'm just going to say, please don't discount your experience. Just because you weren't previously called project manager doesn't mean you were not one. If you were managing events, you were a project manager. Okay. Good luck to you, girl. I think that was all the questions from Instagram. Yeah, it looks like I hit them all. Let me see if there were any on the second thing I posted, because I posted something else telling y'all I was going to be late. I don't see any questions there. Okay, let me. I'm sorry, lots of Twitch. She said, of course, it's the one time I'm on time. I've been here refreshing screens and checking the site at different devices. I'm so sorry. If you catch the replay, I'm so sorry. I was still sitting in the chair getting this done in OKC. Like, oh man, I'm not going to make it back. All right, I'm going to go to the questions here because we've got 7 minutes left. Steph, so trying to get my, you're placing lights on your car. Okay, cool. Sorry guys, I'm reading through the questions. I don't know what the Mom Project is. So someone asked, is Power to Fly like the Mom Project? I have no idea what the Mom Project is. But Power to Fly is a website community. It's more of a community than a website, I'd say. That is, their goal is to help women advance their careers. And so all of the content that they share, all of the virtual events that they do is around that. And they partner with a lot of companies to provide content, information, education, and they do job fairs on a regular basis. So that's what Power to Fly is. The website is powertofly.com. It's a pretty cool, it's a resource that I love. I point to all the time. I tell people to go to their virtual events, their virtual job fairs all the time. Most of their stuff, I think most of their events are free as well. And two people from the Power to Fly team have spoken at the Quick Commuting Conference. Also, they usually are hiring remotely as well. So Sarah, back to you, Serendipity. Like if there was ever a company for you to work for remotely, it would be Power to Fly because they are about women, right? And so they would totally understand that you got a whole little newborn sitting in your lap. So check and see what they are hiring for also. But yeah, immerse yourself in their content. I work as an online English tutor. While doing this, I've been trying to transition to a VA who proofreads and offers other writing related services. It's been tough. Yeah, it is. It is tough. I won't even pretend like it's not, just because it's a very highly competitive field, right? And you're competing with people that are all over the world. What I direct you to, the Nomadic Jamaican, is my friend Hannah Dixon. She has a company called Digital Nomad Kit, and she teaches people. I'm giving you the website. I think that's her website. She teaches people how to build virtual assistant businesses. There's also companies that will hire virtual assistants as well. And that way you don't necessarily have to be the one going to get your own clients. So let's talk real quickly about the difference between working for a company and being a freelancer. So as a freelancer, you definitely have more control over your schedule. You have more control over the amount of work that you take on. And for all intents and purposes, you are a business owner, right? And you're just contracting your time out to people. The challenge also becomes you are the one that has to go and get the clients. You have to do the marketing. You have to do all the work. You could also work for a company that contracts out virtual assistants, like Belay Solutions is one of those. Toptal is another company. So you could also consider, rather than freelancing on your own and consulting on your own, connecting with a company that that hires out virtual assistants as well. And that way they're the ones doing all of the marketing work and getting clients, and they're just connecting you with someone who has a need. And they pay you on a 1099 basis. So you're a contractor for them. Essentially, they become your client and they go and get you more clients, basically, is how that works. So maybe consider that, and also checking out Hannah Dixon. Any advice on where to search for US-based telehealth jobs that will allow me to work from international location? That is hella specific, honey. That's so very specific. I'm going to tell you that my guess is telehealth jobs are not going to let you work internationally, especially because you have to be licensed. That's going to just be my guess. That might be why you've had a lot of trouble finding those. I will say I do know a doctor who traveled the world for a year, and she worked doing telehealth. I don't know where those are specifically, though. I'm going to do what I always do and direct you back to the job boards and just say that you're going to have to use the filters. So job boards like remote.co and weworkremotely.com, they do have filters where you can filter for work from anywhere. You can turn those filters on. So I encourage you guys to, when you're going to these job boards, use the filters that are in there, so that they can help guide you to, get closer to the specifics that you're looking for. But I wouldn't necessarily know that. That is extremely specific in a very specific field as well. I'd say, but you're moving to Europe in a year. I'd also say, why don't you look for remote jobs that are already international as well, right? So Pangean, I think, is a website. Pangean, Pangean.com. That's a remote website that's international. So maybe check that out too. I wish I remembered the name of the company that she worked for. She traveled the world for a whole year because she came to stay with us in South Africa for, excuse me, for a month. And this was way before the pandemic. This is way before telehealth was a huge thing. Gosh, I wish I could remember the name of the company that she was working for. But basically, she did doctor's visits virtually. Yeah. Tracy, I applied for Tulsa Remote, but was rejected. I'm sorry to hear that. That sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. Curious about the process. Did they say why? Did they give you any response to why? Did you do an interview or anything? Just curious. Then finding remote positions that are trying to make a sister stay in the US to work. Yeah, I would expect that from a lot of healthcare, I'm gonna be honest. Just because of so much of the regulations in healthcare. What do? You work for healthcare, but like, what do you do? I'm an MP, nurse practitioner. I believe that's what that stands for. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why healthcare cares about where you live as long as you practice in the state that you are licensed in. Weird. Um, is the upcoming conference special rate still available? Not the Black Friday rate because it ain't Black Friday no more, friend. But early bird rates are available. So thank you for asking that. I'm going to segue really quickly into just telling you guys about the Quick Commuting Conference. Quick Commuting Conference, 3-day conference. This conference is actually going to be focused on project management, healthcare, education, and recent graduates. Let me make sure that I got that right. Let me make sure that I got that right. Let me see if I can pull up my notes from the conference, from our conference planning. QCC Spring 2022. 222. Man, I have way too much stuff in my computer, guys. Notes. That's not it. Okay. So if I remember correctly, though, we're going to be focused specifically on project management, healthcare, education, and recent graduates. And the reason we're doing that is because those are the positions that those of you that come and talk to me about what you're looking for, that ask questions, that show up here, those are the fields that you guys seem to be in droves. And so, so we're going to focus in that area. And for now, the early bird pricing is available. I believe the full access tickets are $50 and the premier access tickets are $150 right now. Let me tell you the difference between those right quick. The conference is free. You can attend the conference for free. For free, you will get access to the conference and you will get a conference workbook and a resource guide. But if you pay for the full access ticket, you will get a discount on the Remote Ready bundle. You will get 30 days access to the Quick Commuting Academy. You'll get replays. You'll get networking. And then if you pay for the Premier access, you'll get all that. You'll get 60 days access to the Quick Commuting Academy. And you get invited to workshops. So the detailed workshops where somebody's going to review your resume. We're going to do mock interviews. I'm going to do, a job search for you. And then I think we're doing a LinkedIn review and something else. It's all on the website, quickcommuting.com as well. Thank you for asking that question. So the special rate for Black Friday is not available, but early bird pricing is available. I received a email asking to upload my resume. My resume is not ready yet. Yeah, so the email also said you have until like March or April to upload your resume. Yeah, I believe that's what the email said. I believe the email said you can upload your resume now. And there's also a line that says you don't have to do it right now. You just need to upload it by, I can't remember the date, March or April. And then we'll just send out another reminder as we get closer. So no, you don't have to upload it right now. She said, madam. You called me madam. That's hilarious. No, just submitted. And their response was a lot of applications. What does that mean? You said they declined. Tulsa Remote declined you because they have a lot of applications? Is that what you were told? I'm asking because I'd love to know the process. Do you know what would be a good place to look for remote accounting jobs? Hey, Felicia, we were talking about this earlier. We were talking about accounting jobs earlier. Accounting jobs are in abundance remotely. So download my free guide. There's a link to it up there. And head to 2 or 3 of the places that I've listed and just go to the accounting section. So most of the job boards that are specific for remote jobs, they have categories. Like all their remote jobs are broken out into categories, and accounting is literally always a category. Always. I actually think the Quick Commuting Conference is going to focus on accounting and finance too. Y'all, listen, I need to have my notes up so I don't be out here lying to y'all. I know I took notes somewhere. I know I wrote these down somewhere, what areas we were going to focus on. I'm trying to find it, guys. I'm so sorry. Give me just a second. I don't think that's it. Oh, I know. I wrote them somewhere else. I actually put these notes somewhere else. But it's going to be on the website. So you guys head to quitcommuting.com. Give me about a week to get the website updated, and it'll be there. But I do believe that we're focused on project management, education, healthcare, recent grads, and I believe accounting and finance. So those are the lanes that we are focused on, which means that all of the content, not all, some of the content that we're trying to provide will be focused on that. More importantly, the recruiters that we will be inviting will be focused on those areas. That's the big deal. The conference is April 21st through the 23rd. April 21st through the 23rd. So we've got a little bit of time. You got time to get your resume updated. I mean, honestly, I hope you don't go. I hope that you already have a job by then. That's my hope. My hope is that you have a job before we even have the conference. But if we don't, come through. Come through. 21st by the 23rd. They didn't give a response. They said they were humbled by the reason they didn't say. They said they were humbled by the response. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know what their criteria is to when they're bringing people in and bringing people out. But you could always respond to them and ask them I don't know if you've done that, but reach out and ask them, what were the reasons that you weren't approved for the program, and ask if you can reapply. Ask that. Hit them up. They want to bring people to Tulsa. But I'm glad that you applied. I'm very, very glad that you applied. Also note, Tracy, that there are multiple other places that are doing the same program, the same type of program. So there's one in Arkansas. I always want to say Arkansas. There's one in Arkansas. There's one in, I think, Michigan. There's one in West Virginia. So there's a couple of other places that are doing it too. There's a website called, what is the name of the website? I have it in a blog post. I don't know the name of the website off the top of my head, but she consolidates information about all these programs that do the same thing. I put a link to it in my blog post. And she actually, the woman who has the website, she spoke at the conference as well. She moderated a panel with people from all of those programs. Let's see. I'm going to give you guys a blog post. I'm going to drop a link to a blog post that has the other programs that are similar to that. And then there's a link to a website that synthesizes and consolidates all that. All right. Girl, Kelly, you and me both, child. I'm about to go lay down. Go lay down. I'm so tired. When I tell y'all, I got out of my car and ran in here to hop on with you guys. But Kelly, yeah, I wish I remembered the name of the company that she worked for. I say keep looking. There's got to be opportunities out there, but I do feel like healthcare is so heavily regulated that it's going to be really tough to do that while living somewhere else. So I would say maybe see if you can get some stuff on places like Pandian in Europe. Yeah. All right, guys, it's been a great night. Thank you so much. If you have not already downloaded my free guide, please do so. It's I'll drop a link in the description. Also, if you need a little bit more help, I do have a course called the Remote Ready Bundle. It can be done in a weekend. It's super short, straight to the point. And it's going to guide you through the 4 phases of finding and landing remote work. It's going to help you with where to look for remote jobs, which is most of the questions today, right? You guys are always asking me, where can I find a job in this field? Where can I find a job in this field? And I always say, use the resources. So the guide has a list of 75 places to find remote work. And then I talk about how to apply for the jobs, because there's an art to that. And then how to ace the interview. Some people get stuck in the interview process, and me and my girl Jenna do a cool little mock interview. So you can check that out. And I will drop the link to the guide as well. Thank you so much for your time, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'm gonna go lay down, y'all. Buenas noches. See y'all next week.